tell this story because it perfectly exemplifies my whole point in all of this video. There's a guy in New York, or what he was in New York, John Ficarra. I'm sorry, John, if I'm butchering your name. I don't know. I can't read. Anywho, he owned a business that sourced cars for movies, television, photo shoots, and he had a database of about 1,000 different car owners. He's a car guy. I mean, he's into cars. He likes owning them. He likes working. Loves is a more accurate word. Owning them, working on them, getting them here, there. So it's perfect business for a guy like that. Anywho, so he has this database of like, give or take 1,000 car owners across America. Classic car owners primarily. And so if whatever Sports Illustrated wants, this car make and model and year roughly and color, he's got his database, right? And he looks through it and he picks that up. The story goes back, as he told it, to a certain client, and he thought in memory that maybe it's Maybelline. Anywho, they wanted a car for a model to shoot because makeup and cars, I don't know. These people couldn't even make up their minds. And they had a time frame deadline that they wanted to get this, and emails went back and forth. Well, maybe this and maybe that. And see, this is the problem with committees. Committees can't make a decision. They all look at one another and, well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Oh, we don't have an individual mind. It's a committee, see? And they pissed around and hem-hawed, and this, we're running out of time here to their own deadline. Like a day and a half before this supposed deadline, before pieces of this puzzle have to get moving to make this work, they finally come up with, all right, here's the deal. We want this car. And it was a black Porsche 356. This is an actual photograph of the car that they chose. They wanted this car in this color. He gets on the database and he's with the jazz hands, finds a guy in Connecticut that has this, this is what they picked. I don't know, maybe he sent him pictures of the whole catalog. I don't know. What I do know is they picked that car. He gets in contact with the guy in Connecticut. Phone calls, logistics. You're going to be here, man. We're on tight window. Yeah, okay, that's fine. At the time, it was like $1,000 a day, and they get paid. John's company got paid up front. And the reason for that is because of what you're about to hear. $1,000 a day. I don't know how many days it's going to take, but, we get paid. Okay. So now he's got to go to Connecticut. He's got to get away to get this classic car. It was not fully restored or anything. It was original condition. I mean, this thing's a peach. And he's got to get it from Connecticut to New York City, where this photo shoot is going to take place. That's not really a small feat as it would sound. Connecticut to New York is like, some days could be 4 hours because of the stinking traffic. He gets it there. They unload the car. Now the car has to go through a building to get it into this is the setup for the photo shoot. This is not a small undertaking. These buildings were not designed, as most are not, to receive a car through the hallways and they're trying not to damage the car, and they got insurance policies pulled. This is this whole ordeal. That was his business, man. That's what he loved to do. That was cars. They get it in the room. They get the lighting set up. They got like 4 different shoots in this room. So each one's got a different theme and all. They've put supposedly all this planning into making this happen. We're set. We're ready to shoot. The model's getting ready. Everything's getting ready. We're ready to roll here. So the lady comes out, a lady, that I guess is I don't know what she is. She's something with Maybelline and art direction. She has the final say. And she comes out, and he's standing here, and she's standing here with her long gloves on, and that's a very nice car. And he said, yeah, it is. It's really, really nice car. And she looks at it. Mind you, this is the car that they chose. And she looks at the car and says, that could be red. And John says, yes, yeah, could be. And she looks at him and says, again, that could be red. And he doesn't quite understand. I mean, it could be, but it's black. That could be red. And she just keeps repeating this. And there's this disconnect. And he's like, except that it's black. And, you know, they just don't say anything for like 30 seconds. And he doesn't understand, and she doesn't understand. And so again, she repeats, that could be red. And the light finally starts flickering, and he's like, are you saying that you want a red car? Yes. Yes. Red car. That could be red. And his whole mind is just shattered to ashes, and it's like, well, but you picked it. It's not like I can push a button and the color of it'll change to red. It's not as if I can go down to a warehouse and just pick this Porsche 356 out in red. I mean, this is the only model of this car in black, like you chose from the photograph, that we know of, that's in our database. You don't just go to Walmart and say, well, I need this, but in red. And go through all the traffic, all the insurance, all the logistics of getting the car into the building, set up with lighting and everything, but not black. This could be red. And that was it. They were done. I mean, they got paid. What do they care, you know? They shipped the car back to Connecticut. It's game over. Maybelline is irate. It's like you didn't provide a service. So now they're contesting the billing on them, the invoicing. It's like, well, number one, we already got paid to the terms you agreed to. And number two, this is the car that you chose. The trouble with that is, people like that woman, the this could be red gal, have lost so much touch with reality that it's like this mythical thing that's kind of flexible. And that's not how reality is. In the interview that I saw, John went on to elaborate. He's like, I got to thinking about this, and the gal with the gloves on that said this could be red, she probably lives in New York City. She probably has a doorman. She's probably never bought a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread. She's probably been to like Paris and London and maybe Atlanta and then New York City. That's her whole world. So when she sees this car, that could be red. Well, yeah, maybe you should have picked a red car, but that doesn't even register. I've gone and looked at jobs for these type of people, and the more money they have, it seems like the greater the disconnect from any kind of reality. People wanting total kitchen remodels, and when I start talking about the logistics of it, we're going to do it in phases because you don't have the room to store the materials here that I need, and I'm going to have to pin off plastic to keep the dust from getting everywhere. Oh no. Sir, we need this done by next Tuesday. We have a dinner function. It's like, huh? You've lost all touch with reality now. And a lot of them, their go-to was, well, they can build a whole house in a week on that TV show with the bus, you know, hey, bus driver, move that bus. You have any idea of the logistics that went into that house? Weeks, months, planning in advance, emails, phone calls, back and forth. Here's how it's going to be, the endless time. And by the way, those houses, I guarantee every one of them just suck within like 5 months. Anyway, They don't think about that. They think, I got a dinner Tuesday, and we want this kitchen elongated and cantilevered out over, so it kind of goes out over the lake, you see. There's no reality there. Something's happened. This great disconnect. You're kind of seeing it now. All this push for AI and all this push for really behind the scenes total control. You'll live in a pod. You won't own anything, but you're going to be thrilled to death. You settle down. See, they were listening. Never once thinking, who's going to buy your shit? Your product. When everybody's dirt poor and living in squalor or in a pod eating their bugs, who's going to buy your crap that keeps you so uberly wealthy that you can't even relate to a realistic level? They don't have the mental capacity to do this. It just boggles the mind. It's like, what is wrong with you? At what point did life become so easy that you lost touch with it? You know, food comes from the store. And not only that, I don't have time to go to the store. I have a person that orders that for me. Congratulations, I guess, but you've lost your ever-loving mind. What is wrong with you? Well, a great number of things, it turns out. It was a good story. John's a great storyteller, man. He's got a million stories, like all car guys do, because they meet people, because they're out on the streets and in the real world and talking with people, and the stories, that's part of the allure of car people. They meet a lot of different people and know a lot, and then they hear stories, and then this becomes this. This guy knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy that happened to have this car that was almost like the one he needed. You know, that's the beauty of that. So they're, on a day-to-day, they're interacting with other people. They see the challenges and rewards of the actual real world. But the gal in the New York City office building with their tall gloves, that could be red. It could be somewhere. I mean, maybe. I guess. As always, you can put your comments in the doobly-doo if you want to. You can like the video, you can share the video, you can do none of the above, which seems to be the theme on this channel, but hey, it's worth what you pay for it. I appreciate your time. I really do. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.